What is up, Facebook? It's been so long since I've done a Facebook Live that I had to take a moment to figure this out. I used to do lives all the time. Do y'all remember back in the day, this is a throwback, when we did the daily gig, 365 days of live sharing our daily gratitude, inspiration, and goal. That's not what we're doing today. Today, I'm gonna talk about the secrets to living. So I just impromptu Facebook Live, maybe Instagram Live if I can share this on there. I'm gonna do that, but technology is not my area of expertise. But you know what is? Coaching. So for those of you, if you don't know me, if you're just joining and we're not like besties and you don't know what I do in this world, I'm Jessica Smaro. I am a life and mindset coach. I also am the host of the Unblocked podcast and newly minted author. Stand by. Actually, it's been 6 months. The book has been out. I wrote a book called In Pursuit, Going After What You Want, Alive, Aligned, and Full of You. And a little backstory about me. So when I was a kid, I wanted to revolutionize the prison systems of America. Well, that's a goal, right? Some kids are like, I want to be a firefighter, not me. I want to revolutionize the prison systems. So I did that for over a decade. I ran jail diversion programs, got to go to the White House and participate in think tanks in New York City on jail diversion policy. And now I help free people from the prison of an unmanaged mind. So I am still in the prison revolution goal. It just has a different iteration now. So today, that's what I want to talk to you about, is getting free from the prison of an unmanaged mind. So I want to teach you something that can be useful, and I want to teach you some things that you can actually go use this today, because I love to give value ahead of time. So I want to talk to you about the idea that our brains I like to just kind of make it simple and just say we have two filters. That our brain is usually, hey, Nikki, welcome y'all. If you come in, say hi. If you're catching this on the replay, send me a message there also. But our brains are constantly filtering through essentially two lenses. And so it is not a question of, is your brain filtering and perceiving? It is. The question is, which filter is it going through? So you can conceptualize this. I'll use a lot of different ways that I talk about it. One might be the fear mind and the clear mind, or the fear mind and the free mind. Or some people use language like the ego and the essence, or light and shadow. You can use whatever language you want. Today, I'm just going to call it the free mind and the fear mind, okay? And anytime you want to do something, your brain is filtering that information through both of those lenses. Usually, honestly, it's going to be the fear mind is talking first. And so some examples of what that might sound like, right, is what if I do this publicly and I fail? Like, this is the fear mind. I don't know how. I don't know what I'm doing. It's safer just to stay in the cave, right? It might not use that language. It's going to be like, you know what, though? It's just easier and safer if we just stay in this job, right? If we just stay in this relationship, that's easier, right? Play small, stay safe. That's what it's telling us. The clear mind might say things like, yeah, when your brain says, what if I fail? Or what if I try and I fail publicly? And the clear mind might say, or the free mind might say, I can feel scared and do it anyway, right? The free mind might say, I'm willing to risk judgment. I'm willing to let people judge me, and I'm not going to make it mean anything about me, right? Or when it says, I don't know the how. This is a big one for any of you. Actually, this might be a little tangent here, but I was coaching on this twice today already. When your brain says, the fear brain says, I don't know how, that one can be really risky, because first of all, you're going to miss out on so much of your life. But here's what often happens sort of subconsciously behind the scenes. When people come to me and they're in like such a pain place around like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I'm here to do. I don't know who I am or what I do in this world. A lot of times what is happening is that if your brain can't see the how, it won't even let you hear the desire. So if you're like, I don't know what I want, I just want to offer that up to you, is that there's a really good chance fear is saying, I don't know how. And again, this is happening so quickly, automatically behind the scenes, you might not even have conscious awareness of it. But if you're feeling really stuck and you don't know what, you don't know how, you don't know what you want, you don't know what direction to go next, I want to just invite you to be really curious about that. Like, what if I do know, but because I don't know the how, I won't even let myself hear the what. I won't even let myself hear what the possibilities are. I won't even let myself hear the desire. But the other thing I would say, so the fear brain is going to say, I don't know how. the free mind or the clear mind might say something like what I just said. Oh, it's possible that that I do know how, but I just won't even let myself hear from myself because I'm afraid I don't actually have the 5-step process. So I'm actually limiting access to myself. But the other thing that I use as a default thought now is, yeah, if I'm doing something, anytime I am doing something I've never done before, of course I don't know the how. Like I can't know the how before I do it. I'm going to figure out the how, and that's not a process. But listen, for the show of hands, for those of you who are like, you know what, we're valedictorian, grade A, straight A student. We like to think there's one right answer and there's a path to get there, right? And so when you're going after goals and you're going after the relationship of your dreams, or you're going after things that you want, they usually don't come with a 5-step process. So I want to give you an actual, like, tangible example. I'm going to use myself, client number 1. And I'm going to share, and I'm actually like real time in it. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory, and I'm going to actually give you a behind the scenes of what the fear brain said, and then what my clear mind or free mind offered up through some self-coaching. So it's like a constellation of a couple things that happened. So a couple weeks ago, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago now, I was doing a calendar audit. And when I was going through it, I realized I could actually accommodate I had time in my calendar that I could accommodate 5 new weekly clients, like 5 new humans who don't know anything about coaching and whose lives could be changed. Like, I could accommodate that into my calendar. And so that came into my awareness. And then at the same time in my self-coaching, what a question just plopped on my brain that came. Sometimes, like, in self-coaching, my pen writes things and I'm like, who said that? Who asked this question? But this was the question. It was something like, what is the thing I keep not doing? Right? I have goals this year. I have goals in my business that I want to achieve that I've never done before. I've been sort of like stagnant in some areas of my business, and I'm like, this is the year I'm going to do different. So I asked myself the question, like, what's the thing I've never done before? Just wait for, just like the betrayal, the self-betrayal. So here's what came up was, one of the things I've never done before is call out a goal and communicate it publicly, like let people know that this is what I'm going after. Something else I'd never done, like related, is I've also never really had like a closed launch. Like, I sort of am just like, yeah, you can come get one-on-one coaching with me anytime. And I was like, so I've never actually been like, hey, this is when I'm actually open for new clients, and then I'm gonna sort of like close the doors a little bit, and then like, here's when you can join me again. So those 2 things came up. So I was like, okay, challenge accepted. I've got 5 spots. So what if I told the world, or like the 3 people who watch me on the interwebs, what if I told the world, everybody in the world, that's what our brains do. Like, if I told 8 billion people that I have 5 spots open for one-on-one coaching, and I was giving myself 10 days to sell those 5 spots. Because also another, again, growth edge that I want to learn, a skill that I want to always be cultivating, is the skill of selling the product or the service that I do, as a business owner. That seems important, right? So I was like, okay, like, let me just see, could I sell 5 spots in 10 days? That sounds like a good time, right? And then here's what happened. So now we're going to go into the fear mind lens and then the free mind lens. My brain was like, I have notes. I have things to say. Please grab a pen, get out a notepad, okay? And my brain was like, first of all, what if we tell the entire world, the 6 people watching me on the internet, what if we tell all of them that we are selling 5 spots? And what if I don't? And then people see me do that, and then people think I'm a big fat loser. So that was one thing that came up. The other thing that came up, my brain was like, what if people think that, what if people think that this is selfish? Like, if I tell people, like, I have the ability to serve more people, and I tell people I now have a goal. I have a goal. It's about me. I have a goal to sell 5 spots in these 10 days. What if people think that I'm making this about me, and I'm being maybe like materialistic, or it's all about the money, and that I'm not being focused on being in service of other people? And I'm trying to think, I'm sure there was more. I'm sure there was, because we had pages. But those are the 2 that are kind of coming to mind. So that's the fear-based thought. I mean, the other one was like, I don't know how to do that. Like, I've never done that before. I have no idea what I'm doing, right? So then here's what my clear mind also offered up. Because I like to, as a coach, I look and see, okay, like, what is the story I'm telling myself, right? And that was the fear brain, was like, here are all the things. So then I get curious, like, okay, is that true? What else could possibly be true? So my brain says I could, I could tell people that I'm doing this, and I might fail. And then people will watch me fail, and then they're gonna think I'm a big fat loser. And I was like, oh, okay, well, the good news is, what if you don't fail? What if you freaking sell 5 spots in 10 days? That could happen. Okay, cool. 2, what if people don't think anything? Like, what if people don't think you're a big loser at all? What if people watch you go for that and they're like, dang, that's inspiring? Or like, holy crap, like she's doing a vulnerable thing. And if she could do a vulnerable thing, maybe I could do a vulnerable thing. Or another terrible thought, another fear-based thought my brain offered up was like, this, for like the clients who are working with me, or maybe even like the clients who are also business owners or coaches, like what if they see me go after a goal and miss the mark, and then that like takes my credibility, right? Like my fear brain offered that up. So my free brain or my clear brain was like, what if the opposite was actually true? Like, what if people who have seen you as somebody who is skilled and successful, what if they see you going after that and see the process of you missing the mark and being in pursuit, being in progress and not achieving the goal yet? What if they see that and they actually get value out of that? Right? And then the other one that felt really, the fear brain that came up and said, what's that, Moody? The fear brain that came up to say, well, okay, but what if people think that this is selfish and this is you being superficial and materialistic and you're not being in service? Like that one probably felt the most nauseating, right? Like that one probably felt like slimy, because that felt like guilt, shamey, sort of. And then here's what the other lens of, just throw my hair on. Here's what the other lens of my brain said was, I believe that the skills that I teach in coaching and the processes I take people through, I think that like this is the secret of the universe. Like the things that I teach people is life-changing. Like this is the secret to living your life. This is the secret to living the life you want to live. It's the secret to feeling alive. It's the secret to having the experiences that you want to have, are the tools that I use. So it would be a disservice for me not to let people know my calendar can accommodate 5 more people. Like, so all of that is all of that's happening real time. Okay. So imagine though, if I don't have the skills of being able to supervise my brain and know that like the fear-based brain is that's not the only voice. It's not the only thing that I think. If I stopped there, if I just let what if I miss the mark? What if people see me fail? What if they think I'm a big loser? What if people think that I'm being selfish? If I stayed with that thought, then what do you think I'm going to do? Like, just spoiler alert, like, show of hands, like nothing usually, right? Like that's when we don't take action, right? And then we stay in the same spot. And that's why then we're like months later, years later, you're like, why is nothing changing? Right? Because we're letting our fear brain run the show. But that is an option. That is optional. You can choose again. Okay? And that starts by getting curious about what is the story my brain is telling me. And then asking the question, like, is that true? Is it factually true? What else might be true here? Right? Well, before I go that, I would also ask, like, is it true? I would also ask, is it useful? Is it serving me? Like, is the story I'm telling because it might be true. Like it could be true that I might not fill the spots and that somebody in the world would think Jessica's a big fat loser. That could be true, but that thought doesn't serve me. Like I just feel terrible and then I want to hide and not take action. So that doesn't serve me in getting closer to the goal that I want. So again, what's the story I'm telling myself? Is it true? Is it useful, or is it serving me? And if not, what would the story need to be so that it does serve me? Right? And that's where we have access to. Even though the fear brain might be super loud, we always have access to the free mind or the clear mind. It's just like quietly sitting back. It's like we are not going to insert ourselves here, right? Like we must be invited. So once you let the fear brain get its word out, because it does not need to be invited, then you can invite the part of your brain like, is there something else I believe here that could be more useful? So I told you I want to give you some tools. That what I've already given you here is very useful. Like that will change your life. If you never hear from me again, never talk to me again. Just knowing that you have different filters in your brain and you could choose to hear from either of them is the difference between going after something or staying stuck in inaction. That's life-changing. But an additional tool, just so you can actually, if you're like, okay, Jessica, that's informative, but like, where do I put my hands? Like, what's my next step here? So I'm gonna break this down. Do what I call a thought download. So whatever the thing is, like for me, again, I'm like, I'm gonna sell 5 spots in 10 days. Okay, now eavesdrop on my brain. Grab that pen and paper. What is the story I'm telling myself about this? Set a timer for 2 to 3 minutes and go wild on the page, okay? And then if you want some additional support, I love to give some free things away like this. And also I have a digital unblocked journal. So you can go into my link tree. It should be on there, download it. It will give you some prompts for the thought downloads, right? Like as if you're new to this, you might be like, I don't know. You're like, I'm eavesdropping on my brain and it's like crickets. So you might want to have some additional prompts like, what's the story I'm telling myself? What am I making this mean about me? What am I making it mean about the other people involved? What is my brain saying about if I go after it? What are people gonna think? What happens if I achieve it? What if I don't? What am I afraid of? What feeling am I avoiding here? I'm going all day long. Okay, I'll ask you questions all day long. But spend some time doing a thought download so that you can hear that. Again, grab the unblocked journal if you want some prompts for that. And then if you're not familiar with the STEER model, this is going to change your life. Grab the unblocked journal. It'll tell you that. If you have the book, there's a whole chapter on the STEER model. But that's when you're going to take one of the thoughts that you've identified from the thought download. You are going to plug it into the model. And I'm not going to spend time going over the whole model today, because the most important part that you're looking at is the T line of the model, is what is my fear-based brain saying? And then what is the other, like a more resourced, clear brain, free brain? What else might my brain offer up? And that's the thing I just want you to be looking at, is when I think that thought, when I think, oh my God, nobody's gonna sign up and people are gonna think I'm a big loser, what is the one word emotion? How do I feel? Inadequate, unworthy, maybe like a one word emotion, or maybe it's like anxiety. It feels anxious in my body to think that. And when I have that thought and I feel that particular emotion, then in the A line of the model, it'll show you this in the journal. What are all the things that I do? What do I do? What do I not do? What are all my actions, inactions, reactions? What are my cognitive behaviors? And then what is the result that creates, right? So if I go back to the example I was using where my brain was like, hey, we've got 5 spots we can make available, 5 spots in 10 days. My clear brain won out, right? Because I said, listen, it's possible that I don't sell it, and it's possible that people will judge me. And the worst case scenario is my brain is going to have a thought and I'm going to have an uncomfortable emotion, and I'm just willing to feel that emotion. Also, I believe that it would be a disservice not to tell people. And when I think that feels purposeful. And so the actions I'm going to take are, I'm going to tell people about it. I'm going to sell myself on the value of it. I'm going to talk about it in as many different ways as possible. I'm going to reach out to the people who have expressed interest in this, and I'm going to let them know there are spots available. The doors close on April 1st. I'm going to do a Facebook Live. I'm gonna do something I've never done before, I haven't done in years. And like, those are the actions I'm gonna take. And so the results that I've created so far, I mean, it's not April 1st yet, but so far I've sold 1 spot. So there are 4 spots left available. I have a consult tomorrow. So it's possible that there are 2 spots. So now I have 3 open spots, right? Like this. So the result is I get closer to my goal than I've ever been. Like, this is what happens when you supervise your brain and you can allow the fear-based thoughts to be there. You start to create some safety for the fear-based thoughts, but you also let the other filter in your brain have a say. So hopefully this is useful. If you have any questions, like, please DM me, find me on social media. It's very easy to get access to me. Email me, direct message me, tell me what your questions are. I want to support you. I really do. Like, it is not hyperbolic that I think the ability to supervise your mind, understand the impact of your thoughts that it has on your emotions and how you show up in the world, and then being able to direct that on purpose, like, that is life-changing work. It will change your life in so many ways. It will change every relationship in your life. When people come to me and they're like, I want this relationship to change, I'm like, good news. Good news is you can absolutely change that, and the other person doesn't have to do a dang thing, right? Because if you change your thoughts, feelings, and actions, 1000% you're going to change your experience of that relationship. And that's just one, right? And then think about all the goals you have and the businesses that are waiting to be done. I'll share this and then I'm going to close out. One of my clients eloquently and brilliantly said to me when we were setting her goals, she said, I want to explore the potential of what God had in mind when he made me. I'm like, listen, when I hear that, I want to like jump off the top ropes. I feel expansive. Like, that's what this work allows you to do. Like, we came here, you have unique talents and gifts, and you came here to do something. And we are operating from the fear mind that gets lost. And I think that's a real tragedy. So I want people to have the skills to make sure that doesn't happen, right? I feel like it's like a not on my watch moment. Like, no person will get missed out. these skills are life-changing. So if you have any questions, reach out. And if you are interested, if you're like, holy crap, I think I need this in my life, I still have either 3 to 4 spots available for coaching. Doors close tomorrow, Wednesday, April 1st at 11:59 p.m. I'll say they close. So if you're interested, reach out and we'll set up a consult and we'll just have like a really transparent, I'm not going to try to like force something on you. We'll have a really honest conversation to see, is coaching something that is useful for you? Is it a good fit? And if not, then there's so much other free things in the universe to get or other people to work with. And if it is, then we'll work together. So have an amazing Tuesday. Thank you all for joining me. And I can't wait to hear from you. Bye.